So when I grew up, it was the norm to use everything. My parents grew what they could grow because they didn't have money, and you appreciated every single thing on your plate. So you had a value on food. And I think when it comes to food waste, our biggest problem in today's society is we don't value it. And when I say value, we don't have monetary value on it, because food now is so cheap, it's very easy to throw it away. It's very easy to buy 6 carrots for £1 in a supermarket, use 3 and throw 3 away, because there's no monetary value. We lost the value of food. So growing up, not having money and having to use everything just made it just made sense. And so when I got involved with professional kitchens, I was shocked to see right across the board waste and how stuff was being wasted, and the total disregard for food. Hotels, restaurants, cafes, right across the board, waste is a huge issue. And what I found, because chefs, there's a lot of chefs here today, I think our heads work very differently. And what I mean is, I think we almost have our own language. So when I talk to chefs, and if we talk about statistics and numbers and stats, it doesn't click all the time. So what I found when we were talking earlier about this as well, it's about the language we use as chefs talking to other chefs. So if we bring it forward to today, we know that 1/3 of the food globally is wasted. You say that to a chef, and the chef's going to think, well, what's that? Is that this much food, that much? What's 1/3? So I go to a chef, and I don't say 1/3 of what we're doing globally is wasted. I say that, imagine the size of China. So if China as a country was just growing food and we threw it in the bin, that's 1/3 of what globally the problem is. And they go, shit, didn't think of that. And then we go, we've 10 years left until we're kind of getting to the stage where there's no going back. 10 years kind of seems like a long time, but if you say to a chef that when you're talking to farmers, there's probably around 50 harvests left, and after 50 harvests, it's too late. The chefs go, I didn't realize that. So it's about the language we use when it comes to food waste. And that language is very important, because within our kitchens, the word food and the word waste, I think, should never go together. I mean, waste, it's the wrong language. When we take on chefs and we're growing and we're training and all that, and I will take out production, food leftovers in production, I'll pour it all onto a table, and I say to the chefs I'm training, what are we going to do with this? You can't throw it out. We don't throw out anything. What are you going to do with it? And they're thinking differently in the whole, and I said, well, what do you see that as? And they said, well, we see it as waste. And I said, well, why do you see it as waste? I said, because we were told it was. I said, well, that doesn't make it waste. Because somebody told you, as part of your training as a chef, that we had to have the best of this, we had to have, the best of meat, the rest didn't matter. It doesn't make them right. So because someone told you this is waste, it's not right. So I learned that language had to change. We had to question absolutely everything within kitchens. And question it so much so that I push forward very quick, and if I make a decision, I make the decision. I don't sit around, debate it, talk, it's done. So when I say there's no bins, there's no bins. So as chefs in the food space, you're not going to throw anything out. You're not allowed to throw anything out. Now what are you going to do? And you'll see chefs, and it takes time, it's not an overnight thing, where their minds are very different from previous kitchens that they've worked in. Because all of a sudden, there is no bins. You cannot throw anything out. What are you going to do? And a lot of the chefs will say, I don't know what to do. Obviously I show them and I train them and so on. And as they get more into it, they come up with new ideas and they look at things very differently. And it progresses so much so that you've broken habits, you've broken the mindset of a chef. And that's the biggest battle at the moment, is to change how we viewed food in the past. And as professional chefs, we have a huge responsibility to do this to all the chefs we work with, because in turn, as we all know, that will also filter out to the public. Because as chefs, the public look at us, they eat in our restaurants, they eat in our hotels, cafes, whatever, and they look, we can influence them on what we do. And that's not just about menu planning. And don't get me wrong, as chefs, of course, it's about our food, the quality of the food, our ingredients, where it comes from. But if you're throwing half of it away or 1/3 of it away, what's the point? And by getting chefs engaged directly with farmers, So we know our farmers, we know where we're buying food, and maybe that's a luxury within Ireland. But what I mean by that is, when you meet a potato grower, for talk's sake, and you see the passion that they have, and you see that they're 7 days a week in the field, you know, looking after these potatoes, and they're at 6 a.m. picking them to get them into the restaurant before lunch, you're not going to throw it away. It doesn't make sense to throw it away. So I delved real deep into food waste, and I thought, okay, I got to the stage where within the 4 walls of each kitchen, we can control what we're doing, and we brought our chefs along on the journey, and we trained them up in using everything, and that's from dehydrating, to picking, to fermenting, and all these wonderful tools that I didn't invent. They're back into history. Generations before us did this, and all I did was move it into today's society because it worked, and the fact that we just lost it and forgot about it is another reason why we are where we're at. But I also think from a chef, it's important to look at everything that comes into your kitchen. And what I mean by that is, so if I'm buying vegetables, what problem has my vegetable grower got? What are they wasting in the field that I might not know about? Now, I brought a lot of stuff here for tomorrow's workshop, but I'll give you an example. In Ireland at the moment, we're going into garlic season. So we've got these gorgeous big elephant garlic, and on top is a scape, which is gorgeous scapes that we use for our restaurants and all that. But in the middle, there's a piece in the middle. I don't get why they don't sell it. It's about this long, and I have them there to use tomorrow. And the girl that's growing the garlic for us has no use for it. So I'm going, why don't you use this? Let's take it in, and we use it because this time of the year we can't get leeks, they're not in season, so we use this. And it's almost as if Mother Nature's telling you, you can't have leeks this time of the year, but you can have this. This is like a leek. It's in between the garlic bulb and the scape, and it's gorgeous. So there's something there all year round, but you've got to go look for it. And you've got to appreciate what is going on within the food coming in. It's very easy for chefs to control the 4 walls, but you've got to think outside of that. Coffee is a big one because there's a coffee culture worldwide where we drink copious amounts of coffee. I eat 20 cups a day, wired, love coffee. But if you think about what that waste, what that produces, so for instance, we have a guy in Ireland who roasts coffee for us, and we trace back the coffee and its origins and where it's coming from and so on, and that's fine. And as it comes into Ireland, in the Hessian bags and the beans, and some are single origin, some are combined and so on, I go to him and go, what is your waste? And he's showing this big, huge wheel bin full of chaff, which is the skin off the coffee. So when you roast coffee, you're left with this skin. So I'm thinking, well, if I want to achieve a zero waste, and he's roasting his coffee for me, it's my responsibility to take his waste. Because he's making that coffee for me and he's produced this. I can't just leave it there and go, that's not in my kitchen, so we're not going to worry about it. So so when we get a delivery of coffee, we get the Hessian bags, the beans come in, and we get the chaff. So we're getting everything that he has in his warehouse that would normally go to a bin. And it took time, we played around with it and so on, and we have different solutions. With the chaff, our most popular one is with coffee grounds, used coffee grounds and chaff, we make a pickle. And we ferment the chaffs into the pickle, and then we marinate beef in it for 72 hours. And then we take the beef out, we slow roast it, and really thinly sliced. It's like a coffee pastrami. And we serve it in a simple sandwich with fresh horseradish or sourdough bread. It's our biggest seller, and we call it coffee pastrami. And it's got this umami kind of toffee flavour. It's kind of hard to describe. Real rich flavour that's come from coffee waste that our coffee guy was thrown in a bin, and now we've got a whole product out of it. And we've got other stuff that we use. So our coffee grounds we use to grow herbs and salads. And we'll do 2/3 soil to 1/3 coffee grounds, combine them, works very well. And then we'll put the chaff on top, which keeps the insects and stages having sprayed and stuff as well. And I suppose what I've learned is, as a company for us, I'm not saying I always say zero waste journey because it's a journey, it is a journey. We find one solution, then we get another problem. But I think as chefs, we've got to take on the responsibility of it's not just about food anymore, it's not just about what's on the plate. It's not and it is about seasons, and it is about the dishes we're creating, but there's so much more responsibility that we guys have to stand up to. And it is for the next generation, unfortunately, it's on their shoulders. And as I always say, we are a generation of wasters. We created this mess, and unfortunately, we are now passing this on to the next generation of chefs to come in. So at best, it's just polite to kind of guide them in the right direction, rather than just walking out the back door and leaving them with a messy kitchen full of problems. So yeah, so just as chefs, I think it's you know, we need to think more about what we do, our carbon footprint, and look at every single detail in our kitchens, be it our food coming in, how it's coming in, i.e. plastics, packaging and so on. Look at everything and make a stand to change it. And I think we need to stop talking about it. I know lots of people that want to do it and are maybe afraid to do it. And my advice would be baby steps. Start small, pick something you want to do it and move on to the next. If you try to do it all at once, you're going to trip up, you're going to cause problems. For Food Space, we're 4 years implementing these changes within our kitchens. And I will never say we're there because it'll never be, you know, there's always going to be something else. But yeah, I think guys, it's a big eye opener for everyone to kind of concentrate on the waste, and there's loads of stuff can be done. If you think about it, we created the word waste, we created food waste within Mother Nature and within farming, growing. It doesn't exist, it was never meant to exist. So we need to go back from that and change that back into being zero waste, and it's very possible. That's it.